Konnichiwa, and welcome to the Samurai Way, the podcast where we dive into the wisdom of the samurai, the art of Japanese living, and the philosophies that help us live with purpose and perseverance. I'm Lori Sagawa, and whether you're here to explore Bushido, the samurai, uncover the meaning of Ikigai, or just looking for a little extra Gambaru, never give up spirit in your daily life, you're in the right place. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's walk this path together. Are you ready? Let's begin. Welcome to the Samurai Way podcast. And I am so excited to be here today with my guest, Diana Fritz. And you never know who you're going to have. We always have exciting, interesting people that have wonderful insights. And Diane will be one of your favorites, I'm sure. So her background is she is a dynamic executive leader, a cancer thriver, having had one eye removed due to cancer, and a passionate advocate for authenticity, resilience, and positive impact. With over 25 years of experience spanning executive leadership, operations, human resources, business planning, and technology, Diane has built a reputation for fostering teamwork, driving organizational health, and leading with influence, not just a title. A member of the Maxwell Leadership Executive Program, a corporate facilitator, and a certified DISC consultant, Diana is dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations through open, engaging, and values-driven leadership. Her mission is to create a meaningful impact and ensure every person she encounters feels valued. So please help me welcome Diana Fritz to the Samurai Way podcast.
Thank you, Lori. I am so honored to be here.
And for those that don't know you, would you like to share a little bit about your background, how you got from point A to point B and in between?
Yes, I am happy to do that. I am listening to my bio. There's a lot of information in that, and I find it helpful to give a little clarity to people on the look I have with the one eye removed and the one eye look. And so, which is actually gets me to where I'm here today. So I started out young executive, had a single mom of two boys, and I was turning 40, and I found out that I had a rare form of cancer and near my eye, and I spent multiple years doing surgeries, and then I went 5 years cancer-free, and then it started to come back, and then 2 years later it came back again, and we were finding out that it was starting to grow behind the eye and resting on the lining of the brain. And that'll make you pause when you get that phone call from a doctor to let you know that it's resting on the lining of your brain, leading to the surgery to remove the eye, as well as, a lot of other areas around that to help protect it. And during that season of healing from that surgery, as well as radiation, I reflected on what was important to me in life. And you touched on, wanting to make a meaningful impact and add value to the people around me. And it hit me that, Diana, you need to share your story. And I strive to do that. I wrote a book around my story, as well as looking for opportunities like this to inspire people that have adversity hit them. We all have different kinds of adversity hit us, that we can learn from it and we can move forward. And that can be used to help add value to other people.
Oh, that's beautiful. You make lemonade out of lemons, right?
Yes.
Because life is never a straight path. There's bends in the road, and because we're human.
Yes, exactly. It's so true.
So from personal struggles to purposeful service, Diana's journey of resilience, I would say she has resilience. The transformative shift from self-focus to serving others, and how adversity has become a leadership advantage. So I would like you to share about that, building a mindset of resilience and the power of reframing challenges to find growth and purpose.
many powerful lessons when I was growing up, where then, I thought those were big moments, right? Big obstacles, and learning how to navigate positively. Um, I will never forget Viktor Frankl's quote, no matter what happens to me, or to you, right? We've never lose our freedom to choose how we respond. And that was powerful to me when I was a freshman in college, when I injured my knee. And so I was in college to play basketball. And I found out quickly that that was not going to happen. But thankfully, I was reading his book because that was a powerful reminder to me and has stuck with me throughout my life as different things happen, that bad things are going to happen. It's how I respond that determines what
Hmm.
happens. I don't have to be a victim, right? I can be a victor. But it's all here and in that mindset, which ties to, that resilience, right? I'm not going to get knocked down. I'm going to learn and keep moving and figure it out and adapt. And sports also was really helpful in that, for that to me as well. When I played high school basketball, my coach emphasized over and over again about mental toughness, right? And not letting things get under your skin. And it's just extremely beneficial to me today to look back and go, okay, why do I choose positive? Why do I want to just keep moving forward? And it's a lot of things that were just rooted in my upbringing with sports and faith, and just learning how to navigate and remember, right, that nobody takes my freedom to choose how I respond. I can always claim that.
I know I read Viktor Frankl's book, and it's life changing. We think about his life and what he suffered. I mean, we think we have it bad, but you read what they did in those concentration camps, and it's like it's a miracle that he's alive. But he was determined to live to tell the truth. And
Yes.
it really made an impact on my life, because sometimes you might want to go into a pity party and you think about, no, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to what they went through, in the Holocaust. Is really impactful.
I definitely agree. I can remember reading the book and going, okay, I was frustrated that I'm on crutches and I'm not going to play basketball, but I've been humbled now. And this is nothing compared to what he navigated through. So,
Yes, yes, and millions of books. I don't know how many languages it has been translated into, but I know that he's sold over 10 million books. And I tell people, and especially, this is just a little FYI. I used to work in the prison, and I would tell the women about this book. This is a book that would be very helpful for you to read, because what you're facing here is nothing, is not compared to what he went through. You'll find that what you have here is not that bad.
yeah, that is so true. And I think that's an element we were talking a little bit to earlier, is when we're willing to share and be transparent about um, what we're navigating through. I know many times I've shared my story, or I've showed up to still continue to serve, even though I've recovered from surgery or radiation. Being real and authentic about that helps people to see, oh, I can move forward too, right? I can do this too. And so I mean, I think his book helped me to see, okay, I can be different too. And then me choosing to do that and to choose positive helps other people, right? You create
Yes.
a connection and an inspiration for others, like Viktor Frankl did for you and I.
Mhm. It's one of my favorite books, and it's not that long of a read, but it took a while to get through it, because it was like, oh, this is awful. It's like this is, but it does have a good ending.
It
Even
does.
I won't give away the details, because I'd like every one of you listeners to read that book, and just it is life changing, and it's powerful.
Agree.
Mhm. The second one you want to talk about, or did you have anything more to talk about the resilience before I go on to the next one?
Um, I mean, I think the only thing I would add to that is just the importance of um, being positive and learning from what you go through. Because whether you get knocked down because a sale didn't go well or a customer is disappointed or it's something medical, if you can learn from it and adjust the next time, right? It gives you your failures. We often learn more from failure than we do from success. So it's okay to fail just so we learn from it and we keep moving. That's been an important lesson for me.
That's good. The next one was embracing imperfections, how life's challenges shape our greatest strength. And that isn't that true? Why being uniquely imperfect is actually strength, and how Diana's experiences as a single mom, executive, and cancer thriver shaped her leadership. The key lessons from Uniquely Imperfect is uniquely qualified on embracing authenticity, vulnerability, and resilience, and how to shift from self doubt to self worth by recognizing the value in life's toughest moments.
Yes, I this unique look I have, right? If you're not seeing us on video, I have one eye, and we'll have people say, well, why don't you hide it, or why don't you try to cover it up? And I just go, because it's me, and that's who I am now. And so I need to just embrace it. But being able to embrace it and smile through it gives me so many opportunities to talk to people that otherwise I wouldn't talk to. People also remember me. I can't go to the grocery store or a restaurant without people remembering me because nobody else looks like me. My husband and I were in a restaurant in Miami last week, and we haven't seen the server for probably over 9 months. And she said, I remember you, right? Like that. I love that, that they remember me. It's because of this unique look and the fact that I'm still smiling with it. If I was bitter and mean when I walked in there, she wouldn't want to remember me. But I think the other piece that I have been blessed with is using my adversity and this unique look or this journey I've been on. I didn't want to just survive it, right? I wanted to thrive. I wanted to get better through it. And when I was being told I needed to live away from home for 7 weeks for radiation because it was 4 hours away from my home, I didn't like that. But then once I got used to the process, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I called my doctor and I said, okay, I'm going to be here. I only have radiation like an hour a day. How can I help you? How can I help another patient? How can I help this hospital system? How can I help? Because I need something to do. I'm not working. And at first he told me, Diana, you need to heal. But then within a few weeks, he was calling me, Diana, I have a patient that needs to undergo a similar surgery. Will you talk to them?
Um,
And I have had the opportunity to do that like multiple times. And that is shifting from poor me to how can I use this to help somebody else? And it's been powerful for me because it always helps your heart when you just go help somebody else. But you also see how your scars have been able to help somebody else to move forward.
Oh, that almost brings tears to my eyes. That's amazing. That you could take something that could be negative, and instead of having a pity party, you just said, what can I do? What can I do to help and bless somebody else? I think that's really wonderful.
Yes, and I have one of them I've actually gotten to see in person too. I was down in Miami for treatment, and she was actually finishing like an intra-arterial chemo treatment, which I had to have as a part of my prep for surgery. And so I actually got to go like meet her in person. Usually that doesn't happen. I'm usually just talking on the phone, but I got to meet her in person, which was even extra special to get to see a fellow, I would reference as a fellow warrior, right? To see them in
Mhm.
person and get to talk to them. So
That must have been very rewarding,
yeah.
coming full circle. And yes. What made you decide to talk to the doctor about being of service to someone?
That particular doctor, I have been known for 10 years, and he's just been one of the most caring doctors that I've had. And so when a doctor cares for you like that, you want to do something to help, right? I want to give back. And I never, my journey of going to these hospitals, I've been in a lot of hospitals and a lot of doctor's appointments, and I've wanted to make it's not just about me. Potentially there's a patient beside me that needs cheering up. There's a lot of patients that are by themselves, that I could be a friend to, or I could bring encouragement to. Sometimes the nurse needs somebody to be kind to them because, they have lots of ungrateful people that come see them every day. So I've tried to just make that my approach when I go to these appointments. Like, who can I help? Who can I brighten their day? And so when it hit me, okay, 7 weeks, how can I help Dr. C? Because he has been incredibly helpful to me. How can I help him? And that's just become my heart. Like, how can I help and how can I serve, and give back to the people that have helped me?
Hmm. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that will speak to somebody's heart. You never know. Communicate to lead. Unveiling the power of DISC in team dynamics, a role of core values in building high-performing, aligned teams. So if you could share a little bit of what DISC is about. I've heard of it, but we probably need a
Yeah,
little
happy
more
to.
explanation.
Yeah, I was first introduced to discs probably, oh goodness, probably 20 years ago. I was planning a workshop for our company annual event, and I was like, oh, communication, we need to work on that. So we ended up doing a disc workshop, which D is the more dominant personality styles, the lowest percentage within the world. I is next, which is more interactive, like storytelling, engaging. S is the steady personality, which is me, very like calm, steady, great team players. And then C is more conscientious and compliant. And it was really impactful to me in that first training I did, which I, hired the people to train, to watch how much I learned about how I could better communicate with others. Because as an S, I could become offended by a D personality because they're really direct and get to the point, and they sounded sharp to me or rude potentially. But then I learned, oh, but that's not their intention. That's just how they communicate. And so it helped me tremendously. So as I was shifting roles, and joining Maxwell Leadership in 2019, and there's a Maxwell Leadership version of DISC, I was like, I'm going to get certified to do that. That has been so impactful to me on my personal growth, particularly as an executive or just connecting with people on my teams. And so now it's a great way to start to work with a company to do disc with like the executive team or the leadership team. And then I get a feel for how the room interacts. I'm always transparent at the beginning. I, say I have a literal blind spot. In our time today, we're going to realize we all have blind spots. Yours just don't stand out like mine. And then we work through, how we share about where we have gaps in communication or where our strength may feel like a weakness to somebody else, and how we can better connect and work together as a team. It has been a powerful thing on multiple teams that I've worked with, as well as consulting companies that are interacting with customers all the time, helping them to realize when I'm presenting to a high D personality, I need to adjust my deck. I need to be really short and sweet and to the point. If I'm
Right.
belaboring the information, I have lost them, I have irritated them. And so it applies in so many areas of life. And I find myself a student of people now and just watching interactions and then figuring out how I adjust to better connect with them. I'm never perfect at it, right? But it's always learning and getting better. Um, principles of Kaizen, right? We always want to keep growing and changing to get better. And I feel like that's a disc, and communication has just been something that's been powerful in my life. And I always love the opportunity to get to host workshops around disc and to help teams to use it to better communicate together.
I like the way that you integrated DISC with Kaizen because it's constantly improving. Had you not done that, you wouldn't know this part of. I understand what you mean by D people, the kind of little like chalk on the like fingernails on the chalkboard sometimes, but that's their personality. They don't mean to be that way. That's just how they that's how they connect with people. That's how they talk. That's how they give their message. It's short, direct, and cut the fluff.
That's right. That is so true.
So it probably has helped you in your interactions with others, understanding more the different personalities and how to work with them and to bring out the best in them.
Absolutely. It has helped me with my communications at work, but also I think about it too. I mean, I have a lot of medical communications, and I have learned, to watch my doctors. Okay, which ones are going to be much more detail oriented, are going to walk through everything, which ones are going to be more personable. And I've had the opportunity, month of May, to work with a pilot training program with the nurses at the University of Miami. And a part of the training was in how thinking about this, because you're balancing as a nurse between your purpose, right? You want to take care of others, but you also have all these tasks you have to check off your list. And how do you balance that and try to connect with the patients? Because some patients are going to want to talk for 30 minutes when you come into their room, while others are going to be like, okay, yeah, do my stuff and get out, right? Like, leave me alone. I don't want to spend time. And that's just a lot to balance. So that was a real honor to be able to help with training like that, because nurses have a special place in my heart because they've done a lot to help me be here today. So I always appreciate opportunities to do things with hospitals and nurses and doctors, because they have helped me to be here.
Mm. I think nurses are very much underappreciated and undervalued because they hold a lot of responsibilities. They can do so much, and so much, really a lot of responsibility is on their shoulders.
Yes,
A
there
person's
is.
well-being, a person's, could be the difference between, life and death at times. It can be good recovery or not so good recovery. And so they have to be multifaceted, I think. I think it's a very noble profession.
Yeah, I agree. When I mentioned Dr. C's name earlier about the doctor I wanted to help, and he has a nurse, Denise, that I remember her from the first time I went there 11 years ago, and I'll still reach out to her and go see her. And it's a blessing to me that she remembers me, but
Oh,
I remember her, right? Like it's, I see a lot of people in a day, but that's just such an opportunity they have to make an impact on people. But I think many times we forget to thank them because we're nervous or we're frustrated with our diagnosis, and they're there fighting for us more than we realize. So,
that's true. That's a good thing. They're fighting for us more than we realize.
yeah.
Yes. And so, getting towards the end of our time together, but what I'd love to do, Diana, is have you share about your big dreams, your hopes, your legacy, any of those that you would like to share with. Um,
Thank you. I don't want our time to end. I enjoyed this.
I know I have too.
Um, I mean, I have two boys, and when I was diagnosed with cancer, they were little, like 2.5 and 4. And it's been so important to me to show them that you can navigate positively through adversity. and you can still be calm and you can navigate through. So that's been a motivating factor in terms of a legacy to my two boys, that I show them an example of what I want them to be able to follow, right? I want to be somebody worthy of them to follow. So that's really important to me. In terms of just the people around me, or a big dream, I just, my dream is to just impact as many people as possible, to see that somebody believes in them and they don't have to be stuck with their imperfections. They can move forward and use them to help another person.
Because no one's perfect, are we?
No.
And it just reminded me of, I actually saw it at the Science Center, that if you take your face, go down the middle, and you flip it, you actually look better unbalanced.
Well, that would be interesting.
It is. It really is. They take a picture of you, and then I don't know, it was, everything's so digitized. This was at the Seattle
Yeah.
Center. And
Okay.
they flipped it. It took two rights, and then they made two lefts. And the person actually looks better with a right and a left. Like, there's a happy side and a more serious side. And so it's really interesting. Even the eyes are different.
That is, I wonder what it would do with me.
I don't know. I guess you'll have to go to the Seattle site.
Yes.
Well, is there anything else you would like to add to that, Diane? You've added so much value to our listeners and actually viewers. We do it on YouTube. So if you have anything else to share, I'd like to give you this opportunity.
We were talking earlier too, and I might say the word wrong, but you can correct me. Kintsugi, did I say it right?
Kintsugi, yes, Kintsugi.
I think that's an important element too for people to remember. It's like the Japanese art of taking broken pieces, right? And then putting them back together with gold to make something beautiful. And a lot of times we think that our scars can't be made into beauty. And I love that example, because they can. Our scars can tell a beautiful story. And I think that's just a great reminder for people not to give in, and to let the scars just be a way to shine with beauty.
That's a great metaphor, because I've heard about that, the philosophy, and then I've actually seen pieces like that and heard people talk about it, and there are books about it, and it really is true. It can be more beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank you, Diana, for being here with us today. You can learn about Diana on the comments. There will be her website and her book too, and ways to get in touch with her. But I hope you have enjoyed this episode with Diana Fritz. I think it's been fascinating. It's been really, really inspiring and uplifting. And so thank you so much, Diana, for enhancing our viewers and listeners and giving them a different point of view.
Thank you, Lori. It's been great. I've enjoyed our time together.
So have I. And we matched today. We're both in blue. Must be a sign.
That's right. We've got it.
So thank you so much. And thank you so much, listeners. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the Samurai Way, where we talk about the ancient principles of the Japanese samurai and Japan, Kintsugi, Kaizen, Bushido, Kotobushido, and Ikigai, and Ganbaru, never give up. So all those together make a very resilient person. So that's it for today, and it's a wrap, and we'll see you next week. And that's a wrap for today's episode, The Samurai Way. I hope you found a little inspiration, a new perspective, or just something to reflect upon as you go about your day. Now remember, the samurai spirit isn't just about history. It's about how you show up, face challenges, and live with purpose. Whether it's Ikigai guiding your path or a little extra Ganbaru pushing you forward, keep walking strong. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, share, or leave a review. It really helps. And if you've got some thoughts, questions, or you just want to connect, just contact me. So until next time, stay focused, stay determined, and keep living with purpose. Matane.